First, giving our praises and honor to our Father, Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises due. Double honors to KD, our shepherd, my Lord, the Water King, for edifying our Royal House of David family with the truth of who we are as Hebrew Israelites. The water for the edification, the water for the knowledge, the water for the care and the love that you give to our family on a daily basis. So my welcome, shalom, shalom, shalom to my Royal House of David family, to my Aquas, to my Ox. Welcome to the Aquas channel, Daughters with Daggers, where we continuously seek edification from the truth of the scriptures. My name is Mihir Malika, and I'm back again. We were going over Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. It's in the Apocrypha, chapter 28. We ended at verse 13. So we're going to get started to complete that chapter of Sirach 28. So let's now get into verse 14. Okay. So verse 14, it says, a backbiting tongue hath disquieteth many, and driven from, Salah. A backbiting tongue, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 14. Or Sirach chapter 28, verse 14. Same thing. A backbiting tongue hath disquieteth many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities hath it pulled down, and overthrown the houses of great men. So a man's whole house can get overthrown by backbiting, backstabbing, as Katie called him, winch. That's his word. A whole house can be destroyed by someone that's wicked, like that. Let's go to Proverbs 14:1 for a precept. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. Okay. So a wicked woman can destroy her home. Okay. So let's go to Proverbs 14:1, and it says it straight here. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Okay. So verse 14 is speaking of that. It says, a backbiting tongue hath disquieteth many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities hath it pulled down, and overthrown the houses of great men. Okay. Solomon knows about this. Okay. He's been down this road. That's why he is the man of wisdom. He's experienced this firsthand. Okay. It's all within this in our word about how the women took him down. Okay. So verse 15, a backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women, and deprived them of their labors. They have put a negative light. So these wicked women, these bad women, these hoish women, these I say wicked women. Okay, we talked about the wicked women. They put a negative light on the virtuous woman, because when people see us, when men see us, because as Hebrew Israelite women, we're supposed to carry ourselves different. We're princesses, right? So we're supposed to carry ourselves differently. The things of the past, whatever we've done or was in the past, that's supposed to be gone. That's destroyed. You are a new person. You are no longer that person anymore, right? So what happens now, we got these wicked women that puts a negative light on us, because of they are still doing wicked things and still doing all these stuff. And so we have to start to get those lies cast out about us. And so one story that sets forth is Susanna. So I know we talked about Susanna's integrity in one of my videos. If you have not had a chance, go to Sirach and look up Susanna and read it. It's great. Okay, it's one of our sisters, Hebrew Israelite sisters. She's a woman of integrity. Okay, perfect example of what happened. Virtuous woman, but because these two men who were supposed to be of the cloth, because she was so beautiful and she didn't want to lay down with them. She's a woman of integrity. They decided to lie on her and say that she was having an affair with someone, and they saw it. And because of their wicked, what they said and the lies, she was about to get killed. They was about to kill her. They was about to take her out of here. But however, because of Yahweh Shai, that's why it's important for you to have that relationship, because he's up there, he's jotting down everything you do. He's seeing everything. He's keeping a running record of all of us, right? So her running record, he knew that, wait a minute, let me send he sent that cruel messenger. He sent Daniel down to, he investigate and check into it, because he knew that she was not this kind of person. And eventually what they set out for her turned on them, because they found out that they were lying, and they were killed. However, look at how they did her, though. Because of the history of women being wicked and women, of us doing things, they were believing them because of who they were. Okay? So we have to deal with that. And that's what this is saying. In verse 15, a backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors. She was about to be cast out, and she was about to be killed because of their lies. Okay, so let's go to verse 16. Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest, and never dwell quietly. Okay, it is going to always be some mess going on. That's just where we in captivity. That's just what it is. As long as we continue to have someone like this around us, we gonna have no peace. As long as we have someone that's just there to cause dissension, division, that's constantly bringing us down, that's constantly negative, that's constantly just irritating as hell, that, you just like, you just need to go somewhere. Like, go to a pasture and just sit there by yourself until it's time for you to just be gone. Okay? They would constantly keep things going. They would keep mess going. They're going to keep shit going. Okay? They're going to continue to just, it's just going to be irritating to your soul. Been there, done that. No matter what. They just that's just their job. Their job is to be there to cause mess. Okay? Verse 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. With the stroke of the whip, it is a physical punishment. Okay? Like a belt. I think we all I know I've witnessed that. I've had that happen. It was a belt. It was a slipper. It was a switch. It was whatever they could find. It was a physical punishment. Now, with the stroke of the tongue, that can break some bones. That tongue is wicked. Okay? So example, when someone lies on you and people believe it, it can beat you up physically. It can beat you up physically. Let me see. Let me see. There is a story. Okay, so have a story. So there was a person that had lied on another sister. Had lied on a sister. It actually was he supposedly was a man of the Lord, but he wasn't. He got kicked out. Anyways. However, he decided that he wanted to contact, KD and have a conversation with him about his akwath and wanted a divorce. Now, he lied on her, and here's the thing. We know that women, because of wicked women, have put us out there, and when we're not doing these things, it's still questionable, because guess what? We are known to be wicked. We're known to have that kind of be those kind of people, right? It's throughout the word. The Father talks about it all the time about wicked women. So if he had not done his due diligence in knowing the person, the young lady, in really investigating and checking on the situation, um, that woman would have lost her salvation. She would have been disconnected from the body. However, it was brought that the person, he's not even a king, I can't even say it, he was doing the most. Okay? He was doing the most. And it was founded and he got kicked out and the sister is good. Okay? So it comes to the point where, people can lie on you. I'm quite sure some of us have been through that, where someone told a lie and you had to do everything. You had to defend yourself. You had to defend your character. You had to defend your stuff. You had to defend your life because of a lie, because of someone had put out there about you. That is a physical punishment. That hurts. And that tarnishes you. And you can't take it back because it's already spoken out there. Even though it's founded that you're not that person, or it's not true, it's still out there. It still lingers. People still have doubt. People still think things, right? So that's what verse 17 is speaking of. So verse 18, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. More people have been hurt by people's mouths than a man dying by the sword in combat. Okay, did you guys know that? More people have been hurt by people's mouths, by the stuff that comes out of people's mouths, more than men who died by the sword in combat. Okay, you know how many wars we done had? You know how many people have fought, by the sword, gun battles. More people have been hurt by the mouth, more than that. Okay, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10, and we're in the Bible. I'm at the Blue Letter Bible if you have it. And it reads, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. Once it is put out there, it is hard to take it back. Okay? Once you put something out there about somebody, and it's, you can't take it back. Once you call somebody out of their name, call them a B, you this, you that, good, whatever, you can't take that back. You can apologize, but you can't take it back because the hurt is still there. You can't take that hurt back. That's why it's important to think before you speak. That's why you can't respond out of anger, because once that fire is not quenched and you respond out of anger, then you've destroyed everything around you, no matter what you say. Okay. So let's go back to, we're in verse 19 of Sirach. So just stressing that, there's so much power in the tongue. Okay. When you say stuff, sometimes we, especially as mothers, to our kids, because our kids can push that nerve. Ooh, they can push that nerve like no other. And you start telling them, are you mad at the dad that you have the baby by? It's not their fault who you chose to have the baby by, right? However, because you don't like the daddy, or you're no good like your daddy, or you gonna be nothing like your daddy, or you're not gonna you just destroy them. You talk about them, oh, you stupid, you're dumb, you say those words to them that destroys them, and they start to take that on. Okay, and you can't take that back. That's, so we have to be careful how we respond out of anger. Okay, so verse 19, well is he that is defended through the venom thereof, who hath not drawn the yoke thereof, nor hath been bound in her bands. Okay, so if we get bit by the snake and we don't fall by the poison, then we are blessed. Okay? You are above reproach. Let's go to Acts chapter 28, verse 3 through 6. Acts chapter 28, verse 3 through 6. And it reads, "And when Paul had gathered the bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand." Verse 4, "And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, No doubt, this man is a murderer, whom thou he hath escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm." Verse 6, "Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god." They was waiting for him to die. Okay, you have them people sitting there waiting for you to fall, waiting for you to, fall down. They did the same thing. As soon as he was bit, they was like, "Oh, it's about to come. It's about to come. It's about to come." Shoot, Paul went like this. That snake was hanging. Shook him off. Okay, and went right back to doing what he was doing. Okay, so you can get bit spiritually and physically. We had a sister in our midst that was doing that. Was taking little bits here, taking little bits there, saying little things here, saying little things there, and pull back to see what happens. I'm going to throw this in here. Let me sit back and see how this is going to pan out. Let me see how much mess a division or something I can cause. Okay, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to throw those rocks in there. I'm going to sit back and see what happened. We see that all the time. And waiting to see if the venom that they're spewing out is going to take effect. So look at those toxic people that got thrown out of the body. Look at them. Look at their characteristics. What did they have? What was all similar? They all had the same. They were all there to cause division. They were all spitting out venom to try to destroy the body or family. Okay? But it was not going to happen. We cannot fall victim to it. We cannot. We cannot allow them to make us a victim. That's why they have to go. Okay? So let's go back to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 28, and we're at verse 20. So verse 20, "For the yoke thereof is a yoke of iron, and the bands thereof are bands of brass." So the yoke is around your neck. The bands is around your hands and your legs. Okay? It's like shackles. So remember the shackles they had during slavery time is like that. So once they are on you, once you have those bands and those yokes on you, it's hard to get them off of you. Now, if you have hard enough, if they are on you hard enough, it would almost be impossible to get them off. So giving you an example, we had somebody that was character assassinating someone in the body. Just talking about them, just dogging them. And just, saying all kinds of ill things about them, and trying to get people to believe them. Okay. All because the person wasn't doing what they wanted them to do. The person was following what the Most High wanted them to follow, but because it wasn't following what they wanted to do, let me assassinate their character. Let me put this out here so nobody else will want to be with them. Okay, or want to have them. Let me put that out there. So that as they kept doing that, whenever they do that, them yokes get harder, the bands get harder, and it's hard and impossible to get them off because people start to believe it. You have people starting to see, maybe they are telling the truth. Maybe she is telling her, he telling the truth. Maybe this is this person. And that's when them constraints get tighter and tighter wrapped around someone. And it's hard to get them off. It's hard to get people to believe that that's not true. Okay. So let's go to verse 21. "The death thereof is an evil death. The grave were better than it. It is a slow death. It is a day-by-day death. where you are humiliated, you're ostracized, you're ridiculed. It is better to be dead, is what this is saying. Land in a grave because you're finished. You don't have to constantly live it. You don't have to constantly see it. You're dead. You're gone. You don't even have to be there. They saying this is what it's saying. It's better to have that, to be that, than to be living through this every day. And now, so that's what verse 21 is saying. Because can you imagine every day you got to wake up and hear something about yourself that is not true? People treating you different because of what they're hearing, and it's not true. No matter what you say and do, people are believing it. It's not true. It starts to make you depressed. It starts to make you angry and start to make you hurt. And they're saying it's best to be dead so you don't have to feel it instead of going through it daily. So let's go to verse 22. It shall not have rule over them that fear power, neither shall they be burned with the flame thereof. When you fear the Lord, he is always going to fight for you and make sure your name is cleared. He's going to make sure you're good. He's going to clear your name because you're his. He knows you. Like I said, he keeps a running record. He knows your character. He knows who you are because you're his. You're his child. So let's go to Exodus 14:14. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. So Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye should hold your peace. Sit back. You know who you are. You know you're not that person. The Most High know. Sit back and just sit back and let him be your peace. Okay? He's going to clear your name. He knows who you are. Sit back and just let him do what he does. Okay? It may be funky while you're in it, but guess what? If you trust and have faith and believe, man, our Father got us. Look, he kept us to the point where we know who we are now. He didn't even have to allow us to do that. He didn't even have to, we didn't even have to still be here. And we would have died without even knowing who we are. We wouldn't have eternal life. Man, all praises. So let's go to verse 23. Such as forsake the Lord shall fall into it, and it shall burn in them, and not be quenched. It shall be sent upon them as a lion, and devour them as a leopard. When you forsake the Lord, that means that you are fair game. You are open prey. You're open prey. When we are participator with the wickedness, you forsake the Lord. So if we're participating in people's wickedness and we're being a part of that, then we are forsaking our Father. Okay, so that means you're open prey. You're open to anything. You're going to receive anything. That means anything's going to be coming your way. Be prepared. Okay, then we are open to receive that curse that he will put on us. Okay, so if you decide to stay on the side of wickedness, if you decided to participate in that, be a part of that division, person that's causing division, that's causing dissension, that's causing hell, that's trying to break up the family, that's trying to destroy us, then be prepared for your curse. Okay? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 17, verse 11. And it says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So I spoke about the cruel messenger in Susanna. That cruel messenger was Daniel. He came down. He came down and he found out that those two guys, they were the ones, they lied and they were killed. That cruel messenger would come down and get that information, get all that, the facts, and you will be destroyed. Okay? We would be destroyed. So let's go to verse 24 in Ecclesiasticus 20:28. Look, that thou hedge that thy possession about with horns, and bind up the silver and gold. A man that findeth a wife finds a possession. And we find that in Ecclesiasticus 36 and 24. A man of the Lord providing a hedge of protection around his possession, which is his wife, from people who have the spirit of backbiting and division. That's what our men of the Lord is there. They're there to protect us and keep us from these wicked people that are surrounding us. We're their possession. We can go to Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 24. Let's read that. 36. Oh. Ecclesiasticus is a Sirach. So we're going to go to Sirach 36. Sorry, you guys. Does that make you mad? They got commercials on the Bible. Okay, Sirach 36, verse 24.
This washing machine
It happened again. This is ridiculous. Commercials on the word. Okay.
The blue light sterilization is also amazing.
I don't care about that. Okay, so 36 and 24, and it reads, He that getteth a wife bringeth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So our men in the Lord are there to protect us. They're there to be our shield. They're there to help us. They're there to be our guide and our leader. You know, the Most High has placed them there to do that for us. So we trust them with that, and we encourage them to do that. We sit back and trust their judgment, listen to their guidance. Now, it has to be a real man of the Lord that's living by these scriptures. We've had some that faked it, and I know none of my brothers in the royal house of David, they're not like that. So listen to them. Okay, so verse 25. Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus 28, verse 25. And weigh thy words in a balance, and make a door and bar for thy mouth. Take care of what we say. Be careful of what we say. And be careful what comes out of our mouths. Okay. As Katie says, we need to shut our mouths. Shut our mouths. We need to close our mouths. Okay. We need to watch and think about it before we spew it out of our mouths. There comes a time we need to just be quiet. Okay? Just be quiet. And it's okay. It's a beautiful thing sometimes. I used to always say I get tired of hearing my voice. So, and when I'm quiet, I'm like, okay. I'm enjoying this moment, you know? And sometimes it definitely keeps you out of trouble, especially when you are angry. So let's go to James 1 and 19. James 1. James 1 and 19. And it reads, Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Okay? All praises. Verse 26. Beware, thou slide nigh by it, lest thou fall before him that lieth in wait. Sisters, don't fall victim to it, sisters. Everything that we just talked about, don't fall victim to it, okay? Don't be a part of division and dissension, okay? Don't fall for it, okay? 1 second, I think I might. Matthew 12. Okay. Just don't fall victim to it. It's easy to get sucked in. Please don't. I want you guys to be here. I want us to be together soon. Okay. Matthew 12, verse 36 through 37 is the final scripture precept that I'm going to have today. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 through 37. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by the words thou shalt be justified, and by the words thou shalt be condemned. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai for his word. Okay? So, sisters, that ends Ecclesiasticus chapter 28 in its entirety. I pray that you're able to meditate on it, read it for yourself, study it, and take heed to it. And do know I love you so much. I can't wait till we have that time where we are sitting with each other. And so I hope this helps. I know it helps me as I'm reading and studying. It's for myself as well. I'm teaching myself also, and speaking to myself also. So I love you, Aqua, with my whole heart. And I pray that you all are well. Until the next video, it's going to be another lesson on Ecclesiasticus. We're going to come with it, maybe 25, I believe, is the next one. So, shalom, my sisters. I love you. Have a blessed day. I'll see you soon. Shalom.